She was such a beautiful, dark-skinned lady. On her head, a crown of righteousness, joy as shea butter on her shiny, smooth skin. Peace sat on her body like Adire, with grace in her footsteps. Her outfit of privilege had been sealed. The true expression of an African maiden. She was no longer an ordinary soul. I speak of something she desired and by grace she acquired. She had been saved, and as lines fell for her in pleasant places, her earnest desire to become closer to the Father began to rest on the views and opinions of others. She began to disassociate her umbilical cord until her unpaid, unlimited subscription began to feel disconnected and expired. Covered with the cloak of lowliness, her weak shoulders were a shadow of her weak soul. While her feet became a bed of decay, she lay bare, basking in the euphoria of defeat. Her self-judgment, like a ticking time bomb, spread through her like a wild virus, corrupting her vision, until her commitment stood in the state of division. She broke her built bridge. She put a veil between her and God, refusing to accept her self-worth in Christ. She was beaten and battered by her own hands. She kept trying to convince herself that this was all part of the master plan, until this grave trickery became a slow poison. She ran from pastor to reverend seeking answers. She fell on her knees at different altars, frantically beckoning for help against this monster she created. She set her pastor like the makeup artist and the pulpit as the foundation, set her offerings as the primer and a hopeful mirage as the setting spray. She should have been made up, but this makeup was a counter to her makeup. Condemnation had taken over her beauty blender, perfectly combining her shiny smooth skin with barrenness. The brightness of her crown a dim flicker, and when she looked into the mirror, ignorance was the reflection of her unrenewed mind. She wanted to use her hand to take her final breath, but that God had spoken, "You will seek me and you will find me when you seek me with all your heart." Realization struck her. Her rusted mind was finally oiled up, and God, as the great interceptor He is, with all the puzzle pieces in His hands, His bloodline He made hers, not by merit but by His mercy. Now she cannot be moved. Her heart is full of assurance. Nations, behold, she is a city on a hill. Nations, behold, Yahweh is revealed. Nations, behold, she is the true definition of Christ-like. This is her salvation package. This is her birthright.